The Bathroom Shower, Part 1. My first ghostly experience took place in 1982. I was around 5 years old living in an old apartment building in the Bronx. The old building stood at 5 stories, built in the early 1900s. At the time, the complex was at least 50 plus years old. It had no elevator, meaning you had to walk up and down stairs for everything. I can almost remember how congested and dark those hallways looked, day or night. This was no luxury apartment building. We lived in the projects, and poverty had a face. This building advertised it, old and unkept. I remember my mom saying that the entire layout of the apartment seemed dated. From rose-printed wallpaper scattered throughout the walls, old creaky wood floors, and French doors on the main bedroom. It was a small place, yet big enough for me, my mom, and my dad. When you entered the apartment, the bathroom was directly to the left, followed by a short hallway that seemed long as a kid. Immediately to the left was the kitchen, followed by the living room and 2 bedrooms. The layout of the place was L-shaped. Many nights I would wake up to complete darkness, as my mom slept next to me. My mom and I spent most nights alone. You see, my dad worked a night job somewhere, leaving us alone. This was difficult on me because I felt more at peace when he was home. As I laid there in complete darkness, I remember adjusting my little eyes to the dark, taking light from the windows and outside lampposts. My mom turned all the lights off at night. There I was, being 5 and having to use the bathroom. Thoughts of what I knew was waiting for me raced through my little mind. This is what happened. During the day, my mom would leave me alone in the bathroom to shower while she had to do her chores. She would open up the faucets and warm up the water for me, and simply walk away. All seemed normal, as it should be for every kid. But one day, for some reason, something changed. I have no explanation as to why, except that something not from our physical world wanted to torment me for no reason. As I stood there with my eyes closed, in the shower, doing as we all do, washing my hair, as I cleared up my eyes from shampoo suds, I turned around to see these 2 little kids that looked to be around my age. They stood motionless. I could see the details as they both had long straight hair. One looked like a boy, the other a girl. I didn't think much about it then, but to me they looked like twins. Years later, as a teenager, I would watch the horror movie The Shining with Jack Nicholson. The scene where young Danny Torrance would run into the Grady twins on his big wheel in the famous hallway scene brought back memories, as to my experience was in a way somehow similar. There I was staring at these ghost children. To give you a better mental picture, they were as clear and physical as I looked. They weren't transparent or unrecognizable. They were real in physical appearance. They stood there facing away from me, standing upright and motionless with no facial expressions, except for 2 blank stares, staring into nowhere. They literally stared into the shower wall. What was more bizarre was that they were both wet from the bath water, falling on their little faces just as I was, both with their eyes wide open and never blinking and never looking directly at me, not even when the water covered their eyes. Yet somehow I knew that they knew that I could see them, as if they purposely appeared and disappeared at will. You see, this happened to me multiple times, always in the shower. The first time, I brushed it off. I ignored it, hiding it from my mom, scared and confused. What 5-year-old wouldn't be? I remember running out of the shower, dreading to go back, but I did. The second time, it's as if I knew they would reappear, and they did. But this time, I screamed with intense fear. They appeared to me like clockwork, the same as the first time, as soon as I washed my hair. I remember when I screamed, my mom came racing with my grandmother. She happened to be there at the time. As soon as my mom opened the shower curtain, they disappeared. I looked like I was having an asthma attack, in tears, trying to explain what had happened before and again that same day. I remember both my mom and grandma looking at each other with great concern on their faces, but somehow I knew they believed me. For some reason, this went on a few times. They reappeared over and over, and sometimes they faced away from me, sometimes looking towards me, and even staring at each other. Again, no expressions, no communication, no movement, just standing still like frozen statues. Eventually, my mom never left me alone when I had to use the bathroom to take a bath, at least for a time, as one day it just ended. They never reappeared. Either way, the experience left a mental image of these two entities forever printed in my mind. If you would like to hear more as a second part to my story, please let me know, as I will go into more detail as to what some believe I might have been experiencing. I'm new to this, and I hope this all makes some sense, or if there's anyone out there who had a similar experience, let me know or comment. Thanks for listening.